And we are live. Welcome to We Have Thoughts. Basically, where Soto and I just kind of share what's on our mind in the moment and just tell them to you whether you want to hear them or not. It's just what we do. But it's also
Yeah.
it's also another way because I don't think we fully explained this to people. Maybe we have, but sometimes when we text each other, like I've seen this movie, I have thoughts, or oh my
Oh,
god, this just
yeah.
happened. And that's kind of where it came. And I'm like, well, I don't want to call it I because there's two of us. So, but that's kind of how the name came across. But yes, it's just basically us BSing for an hour. We do this live on
Yep.
YouTube, throw it on Spotify later, yada yada yada. But yeah, our main topic today, we will be kind of looking at what's basically the end of John Cena's career. I know you wanted to talk about this because it's going to be coming up in about a month, his final match, and the year
Yeah.
he's had. But we'll get to that in a second.
hmm
So you started. You asked me a question, and we're kind of saving this. So let's start over because you have some plans after we do this. You're going out somewhere, so tell me about
Yeah.
this place because now I one of these days I'm gonna have to come down and come out to eat with you guys here because this sounds like
Yes.
my kind of
Oh,
place.
it's awesome. So it's a couple of blocks away from where I live, and it's a Korean barbecue and hot pot. So they have one option is like you have a little metal plate in the middle of your table, and they bring out the raw ingredients, and you can like just kind of cook your food right there. And they all have all sorts of dipping sauces. But the real thing that I like to go to, especially when it's cold now, is hot pot, which is they just give you like they literally put a boiling pot of like broth in front of you, a huge pot, and you just order all you can eat meats and vegetables and things like that, and you just put them in there. Like all you can eat like ramen too, so like they'll literally give you like the ramen, like the hard square ramen, and you cook it in there for like 3 minutes, just like you normally would. But you have to wait until the broth is flavored with all the other shit that you have. But they have pork belly, they have brisket. Our favorite is beef tongue, and I get a lot of shrimps. And so the conversation that we were having was, I don't. I remember shrimp being a lot more plentiful when I was younger than I do now because every time I order the shrimp at the hot pot, they only give me like five at a time, which, as I've discussed, I could probably eat a lot more. I could at least eat like if I ate like a ring of shrimp, with like the cocktail
Cocktail
sauce,
sauce, yeah, yeah.
I could definitely destroy that. And it's low in calorie and it's great, but I just was like, what, I don't know. So again, there's a lot of seafood options too that you can do, and I believe I was asking how you felt about seafood.
I love seafood, and we'll get in that in a second. But let me ask you, how big is the shrimp here? Because I one of our very first podcasts, long time ago, when we started this, but
Mhm.
way back in whatever 2019, 2020. I kind of forget the
Yeah.
exact starting time, and we were on Twitch, and we're getting little like bits of info about ourselves. And yes, you said if push, you could eat 100 shrimp. And I'm like, damn, but
Oh,
like you said,
definitely.
in those little cocktail things or those little containers you
Yeah.
get at the grocery store, yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
Like I could probably do that as well. So my question is, at this
Yeah.
place, because you said they only give you five, like obviously, are they bigger or are they just smaller? Like they're the same size,
They're
right?
like they're like a little bit smaller, I think, or like they're like a little bit smaller than the cocktail like ones that you get in that ring.
Okay, so
Which is
tiny.
disappointing. 'Cause,
Oh, yeah.
like they're not that big and not that plentiful, and so they give you like a strainer, like this like strainer basket thing that you can like dip in. And so in order for me to not lose my little baby shrimp, I put it in this little basket and I dip it into the boiling water. And then when about like 2 3 minutes, I mean, it takes no time for shrimp to cook. It comes out, but they limit the amount that you can have because typically between Sarah and I, we go like we usually do like 3 sheets, or if we're feeling crazy, we might go four. So you sit down and they give you a piece of paper and you just circle what you want. And then the waiter comes back around and picks up like what you circled, and then they just bring it out to you. So it's also what I like about it is it's super low impact because you don't have a waiter constantly coming over and checking on you. Um, unless you need to like refill out your page, you're kind of just doing everything at your own pace. And it's fucking fantastic. And they also have a sauce bar. So you can go over to the side and they have a bunch of different sauces and they have like a bowl that you pick out and you just mix and match like garlic or like chili paste and everything like that. You make your own sauce and you bring it to the table and that's what you dip your food in. Um, so if you like eating,
I mean, who
it's pretty
doesn't?
good.
Yes, I
Yeah.
mean, you had me at all you could eat, and I only asked because I know there's a couple all you can eat sushi places, and me and Keely have gone to a couple, but
Really? All you can eat sushi? Ooh.
yeah, it can be a little pricey wherever, but basically it's also this. It's like they'll give you two rolls at first, and then after that you
Yeah.
only get one roll. You can't order like even if you know you're gonna have maybe two or three, because if you split them, whatnot. And I was thinking because of that with the shrimp, I'm like maybe it's portion controller. Like they don't want to have you waste because that's the one hard. I mean, I know this is a little different than like a regular buffet, but
Yeah.
if you don't like it or have too much, you put aside, but you still might go up to eat. So maybe they're like, well, limit yourself. You can have all you want, but we're only gonna bring you one or five shrimp at a time. But no, I love seafood.
Oh, yeah, I never thought about that. Might be a good point. It's yeah, I guess that's true too. They do have like a $10 charge if you were to leave like leftovers and stuff.
Really, I've
They
never
get
heard of
that.
that. They
Yeah,
charge you if you can't finish your plate. That
yeah, because they're like the fuck bitch. Like you came to play, like for all you can eat. Like you better eat everything. I have never run into this issue there. Okay, and I'm sure you, as a fellow food expert as well, and you and I obviously very famous legendary story on my wedding night.
Yep.
So we definitely know how to handle all you can eat. So that's never happened to us. But what I really love about this place is that like we'll at the end we'll be like, oh my god, we're full, and they'll be like, oh, you're full. Would you like a scoop of vanilla ice cream? And dude, I'm not typically a big ice cream guy. I know we were talking about ice cream sandwiches on the last episode. Um, but after you've had like salty beef and all this
Yeah.
other shit and you've been piling it on, like a simple scoop of just plain vanilla ice cream with nothing on it, dude. I mean, it fucking hits so fucking good. Like, and no matter how full I've been, I always have room for like a scoop of just no bullshit vanilla ice cream. Um, and that's part of the all you can eat. Like if you wanted to all you could eat vanilla ice cream, you could keep circling on the sheet, but who the fuck would do that at a hot pot? Um, but it's a small place and it's only 2 blocks away from where I live. So, I can go there in any condition, hence why I've already started drinking. Because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna pregame. By the time I get there, I'll be starving. Because you want to go starving, right?
You
You
want to
know
go to
this
any
about
buffet
any.
or all you can eat starving. That
You want
that
to
is the
go
key.
like you want to be like, oh my god, I'm going to crush some shit. Um, and yeah, because it's disappointing if you don't get that much, but I think you would fucking absolutely love it. I mean, it's a little bit. They've got some, sort of outside the box ingredients, but you're pretty like you're not a very picky eater, from what I understand.
No, 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 no. I never grew up a picky eater. I pretty much tried anything, and as you know, the buffets we've done, and the
Yeah,
challenge my daughter threw down to you because I think one time she was doing oysters, and you're like, "Well, fuck, I can't let an 8-year-old show me up," if I remember that
exactly.
correctly, uh, which is
I
hilarious.
couldn't do that. I
No,
couldn't let an 8-year-old be more adventurous than me. Like the fuck?
you're like, "How dare you? I gotta eat this shit now."
Yeah, right.
Uh,
Exactly. I can't be scared at 8-year-old. Come on, no, 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 no.
no,
That was great. I've ever.
it's very rare to have me have something extra at a buffet. Like I pretty much like even at Chinese buffets, I know my limits and like all right, I have like certain rounds that I do when even every now and then I want like a hot and sour soup. I think there's only
Yeah,
one time, and I just feel like there's something me and my daughter tried, and I can't remember what it was, and I just remember it didn't taste well. Like it just, I was like, all right, I tried. I was like, this isn't good, and I didn't want to eat it. And I'm like, yeah, I felt bad because I'm like, well, I did
yeah,
take it, but I'm just like, this is pretty shit. And she didn't like. So yeah, that's like the only time I felt like I left even a little something on my plate. But you're right. For the most part, me at a buffet, I'm like, no, whatever I put on my plate, I am finishing. I don't. My plan. So to anytime I go to a buffet, all you can eat, whatever. I need to walk out where I feel like I can't walk. No, like roll
yes.
me out, roll me home, roll me whatever. I'm like,
Yep.
I did my job. We
That's we do that at the hot pot, and well, we try to get better about it because sometimes you just like you're so hurt and you get home and you're like, I can't move, and then you just end up holding yourself the rest of the night,
Yeah, that's the
which we've done
goal.
plenty of
You know the end result. I'm sorry if you're going to an all you can eat. You know the end result. It's just like if you start. I hate to bring up like this, but I'm like it's just like when you start drinking. You're like, I know I don't want the hangover. I know what this is going to lead to, but damn it, I want this now. So
times.
you go to
I
it.
know this very
Like I
well.
said, you make no plans. You're not going out for a midnight walk. You're not going out shopping. No, after your
Right.
buffet, you're pretty much going home, unloosening the belt a little bit. Like, all right, this is it.
Yeah.
I maybe games, maybe TV. Then I'm going to bed. So no,
Oh,
no,
dude.
you have to. That
You think I
is the
wear
goal.
you think I wear pants to the hot pot place? Like I don't. I mean, I wear like I have these Adidas like track pants that are sweatpants specifically to go to hot pot because I'm like, oh, there isn't going to be any tightening of my belts. I'm going in my basically my fucking PJs. 'Cause I'm gonna be because I know what I'm getting into. Like I am gonna absolutely fucking crush the pork belly. It's the pork belly and the brisket, man. Like
Oh,
those
brisket.
things like we try to spread them out over sheets because we've done it like we'll get there and we'll like order everything on like the first sheet and then we'll just get into trouble. We found that if we space out the heavy meats throughout the three sheets that we can last longer because I want to try a little bit of everything every time I'm there, and so I don't want to miss out on stuff. And every time is different, but we always start with they bring us they always bring me a bottle of Sapporo, which is a Japanese beer, and then Sarah and I split a bottle of hot sake.
Mm.
So we have hot sake at the table, and then she also gets a bottle of soju, which is like a Korean alcohol. It's like 14%. So we're doing shots of soju. We're drinking warm sake, and I'm drinking beer. I mean, it is like when it's like today, when it's like 45 degrees, we're balls deep in the middle of like fucking fall. Like you want to go somewhere where it's like you're just around like a hot thing, and then it's also got wicked spicy stuff, which as you know I don't do well with, but that stuff will keep you fucking warm in this cold ass fucking weather. And both you and I are historically from cold weather places, so
Yep.
anything we can do to stay warm, it's great.
Well, I don't know if I shared the story a couple years ago. What were we in 2025? Yeah, so 2 years ago. I don't think. Took my daughter. We went to Atlantic City, 21st birthday. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah,
Basically,
yeah.
just like, hey, bring one of your friends. This is your hotel, whatever. And next to us, at the hotel casino, I can't remember what the name of it was because we stayed near the pier, near the ocean, which is great because we
Yep.
just walkway. It's the nice part of Atlantic City. Nothing, the scary part, et cetera, et cetera. But they had a lunch and dinner buffet. But Thursday, Soto, they added seafood. It was so everything plus like seafood. So you're
Ooh,
thinking lobster, you're
ooh,
thinking shrimp. So
yeah.
yes, I was like, all right, because this was our last day there, full day there, because we were getting ready to drive back Friday. So yeah, we
Mhm.
hit this. And so I mean, they have this roast beef as well. It's just so freaking good. And like this is in the afternoon. This is in the friggin' afternoon because I'm like, let's just hit it early so everything settles. But yeah, I love buffets. I'm like, you have to. I mean, I've been to some shitty ones too. And I was just like, what is this? They have 4 or 5 things. I'm like, this isn't a buffet. So I love hotel buffets to go out. I like breakfast buffets. That to me is one of my favorite. Like I
Oh
always
yeah.
just like any, you get up, you're seeing just simple. I'm like, oh, you got eggs, you got, pancakes, bacon, sausage. You're like, all right, you got the simplest 6 things that I need this early morning. This is great. Uh,
That's a great way to start the day. Like I was just talking to Sarah about this because so guess what I had for breakfast this morning?
what'd you have?
I had a filet mignon and
Oh,
mashed potatoes.
all right. This sounds like, Bachelor Chad time days way back. Like, oh, yeah, I don't care. I'm having steak and potatoes for breakfast. I was gonna say,
We did. We really were like, like last night we didn't feel like cooking, and Sarah was said she was like, well, she's like, would you want to just have steak and potatoes tomorrow morning for breakfast? And I was like, yeah, who cares?
we're
Absolutely.
adults. We can
She's
do what
like,
we want.
we can do whatever we want. And I was like, we're not bound by anything. I was like, let's start our day off with fucking filet mignon that we got from Market Basket. which is like $21, so it's like nice and cheap-ish for now.
Yeah.
We had some mashed potatoes, and dude, started my fucking day. Like I got a good base on my shit. But I find breakfast to be like the idea of breakfast is like a treat or it's like decadent to me. Like when I have breakfast, like it's like a day off, or I don't know how to explain it. Like I just feel like breakfast is always like a special treat because you start off your day with a heavy ass breakfast, dude. Like you're kind of starting your day. That's gonna be a slow day, in
No,
my opinion. Like a heavy breakfast, like you described with your breakfast like buffet. Like you're gonna ease into your day. You're not really in a rush to do anything. If you're eating sausage and bacon and scrambled eggs and fucking hash browns and all that shit to start your day, like that kind of gets you because like you're gonna feel like you want to take a nap. At least I do.
oh, I agree. And so I got now two parts directions to go in this, and I'll explain the breakfast buffet because you're correct. I do not. I love breakfast, but I can't do it on days I
I
work.
love
I can't
Of course.
because I'm like I'm in a mail truck, and so, but
Yeah.
like today, so it's funny you said that because today because I'm off this weekend as well. I went to go. I'm like, hey, I'll go get us some coffees. I'll go to Dunkin's, and then I'm like, well, I'm off this weekend. I want a breakfast treat, so I asked Jill. I'm like, do you want a special breakfast? That's how we.
Yeah,
So I actually
exactly.
made a trip to McDonald's and got us sausage McGriddles. I'm like, fuck it. You know what? We got the weekend off. I'm not moving. I'm
Yeah.
doing laundry. That's like the only thing I have to do today. So I'm like, if it hits me, I'm like, I ain't going anywhere today. I mean, this is pretty much it. This is the excitement of my day is
Yeah.
going out getting coffee and McGriddles and then just
Yeah.
chilling. So, but
It's
yeah,
that few and far between. Like it's not like it's not a regular thing for me breakfast. Like if I'm having breakfast, I'm in leisure mode.
correct.
Like that's how I feel. I'm like, oh shit, today's a great day. I'm having breakfast. Otherwise, like I'll wait to eat till like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Um, and then I usually go from there. Like in the morning, I usually stick to coffee.
Yep.
If anything, like I'll have like I always keep like a couple of Baby Bells on hand, like those little like wax like cheese things. Um,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I think I know
yeah,
what you're
so
talking
I'll keep
about.
those. Like they're just like quick protein. And I always have at least two or three Slim Jims on me. And I go from there. So I do a lot of pecking throughout the day. I don't really eat heavy until I get home, but breakfast is one of my favorite foods. Like breakfast foods itself, eggs, all that stuff that you described. Like it's one of my all-time favorite foods. It's like I know I'm having a good day when I'm sitting down for a good breakfast.
Yeah, the last time I did a breakfast buffet, um, it was one of our trips to Foxwoods. And we went, and it was a very simplistic one. It wasn't like an over like the Atlantic City one. It was basically eggs, sausage, bacon, like I said, toast. They also had like these sugar waffles. Jill tried them, and I'm like,
Ooh,
oh my god, like they're very sugary, even a little much for me. But then it's like after that, I'm like, all right, I'm just, or we just walk around, sit at an occasional slot machine, like all right, and then like you said, it's leisure time. That's the only time I do
yeah.
breakfast. Like you, I love breakfast. I love omelets.
Oh yeah, so
That's kind
good.
of my go-to. Found a breakfast place in Nashville I'd never been to. My friend took me. We had some time in between football games, and
Mhm.
yeah, I did like a chorizo omelet there, and it was so freaking good. I'm
Oh,
like, I'm glad
nice.
you're taking over the second game because I'm like, I don't know if I can move. Just tell what kids go in, get out. That's it for me. Because I'm like, yep, this is it.
That's
This is it. So
what breakfast fucking does, man. Like, because you can have lunch and lunch doesn't have that same impact, but breakfast, man, it just sets the tone for the rest of the day. So I just wanted to have a good base today and make sure I got steak in me. But I don't know. I mean, I do miss cereal, but I'm too old. I can't just eat like a fucking ginormous bowl of Frosted Flakes like when I was 16 years old.
I do that in
I
the
would die.
evening every now and not very rare. That's like a treat to me, but I don't do it in the morning. But sometimes I'm in the mood for it, and just because we have a lot of bagged cereals here, because this family they go through a lot of it. So yeah, every now and then I'm just like, we got Golden Grams. I'm gonna have a fucking bowl of Golden Grams because I'm an adult and I can have cereal at night. Who's gonna tell me
You
I'm
can.
wrong?
You're a goddamn American, dude. You can do whatever the fuck you want,
Has
whenever
nothing
you
to do with
want. You're
being
like,
American. It's just
it's
being
like
an
I'm
adult.
free. I'm gonna have some breakfast tonight. Like
Breakfast
breakfast
at
for
night.
dinner. Breakfast for dinner we do all the time. Like not all the time, but we do it occasionally. It's always a great thing. Like it's like, oh, tonight we're gonna have eggs and beans and bacon and all that stuff. I mean, that stuff's kind of cool. So,
Mhm.
love myself a good old fashioned American breakfast. That's for sure.
Yeah. I it's funny you brought up cereal, and I have a question. I kind of heard this on a TikTok, and I was going to save this discussion for another day, but we kind of directed towards it, and it's just a very curiosity question. So, again, it's kind of a joke, but I'm going to get the Soto opinion on this, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Would you consider cereal a soup?
Oh my God, this is one of those kind of questions.
Yes.
No, that's my gut reaction is no. I don't care if you're good. I don't care if you hit me with facts or whatever the fuck.
Oh, I'm not hitting you with
No,
anything. It's just you were talking
no,
cereal, and then that
no,
TikTok came up, and I was just like,
no.
"Oh my god!"
I don't. I don't consider it a soup. That's the stupidest thing I could think of. I get why. I understand, but no, no. Cereal and soup are not the same thing. What do you think?
Oh, I agree with you. It was stupid. I mean, I
Like a
get to
hot
me
dog
because to me,
sandwich thing? Like
no, I
you
disagree with
know?
that. Me and my wife get in arguments about that. It's not a sandwich. I don't care. People can argue that, and I'm not gonna say they're wrong. They're just wrong to me. Um, no, but to
It's a
me,
glizzy.
soups are hot. I mean, obviously, I get the broth and stuff like that, but no,
Not all soups are hot, Chad.
the good ones
There's
are.
like there is such thing as cold soup.
As I said, the good
Very
ones
much.
are hot.
Yes, of course. I agree with this, but I'm telling you that from my understanding of living in this world, like there are soups that are served cold, but I don't care. I don't care if there are sweet soups. I don't no. Cereal and soup. It's all about intention, right? Like there's no like cereal does not have the intention of soup, and therefore to me it is not soup. That's it.
Okay,
That's my argument.
no,
I
that's fine.
rest my case.
The case is made. Judge says, agree with you.
Yeah, I rest my
If I'm
case.
the judge, I don't know. Others can say. All right, let's move on from food for a little while and get to a main topic that you wanted to discuss.
Yes.
For those wrestling fans, WWE, this is John Cena's basically final month. He has 3 events left. He's going to be on Monday Raw, I think at Madison Square Garden. He's going to be at
Yeah.
Survivor Series, I think part of the War Games match. I don't know if that's official, but then he's got his final match, a Saturday Night Main Event in December, December 13th, whatnot. But yeah, I guess we talked about this because he just won the belt from Dominic, the Intercontinental
Yeah.
Championship. But I don't know how.
Mhm.
So I know we kind of fallen out. I don't want to say fallen out of love with wrestling. Just when it's left Peacock and Netflix, we haven't watched as much. I know we kind of talked
Yeah.
about the first half of what was going on with the heel turn, but what are your thoughts about all this? Especially since this is really your first year coming back to wrestling in like 20
Yeah.
years, and
That's
you've
25
missed the whole John
25
Cena
years.
thing. Um, but yeah,
Completely. Yeah. Yeah. So far this year with John Cena, yeah, you're right, because I went to ESPN and it was a wrap. But now I keep up with it. But I don't have the incentive to do it. Like if I remember to watch Raw, I will, but sometimes I don't. Um, I enjoy SmackDown sometimes a little bit more than I enjoy Raw. I don't know why. I am happy that Pat McAfee is not around though. That's been great.
yeah, you made that
Uh,
abundantly clear. Once he left, I'm
yeah,
like, this is
Pat
great.
McAfee. Pat McAfee sucks ass, and I hope he's never on. But yeah, I missed all of John Cena's entire career. This year, uh, he's been probably his storyline has probably been the least interesting thing for me. Uh, Coming back and watching wrestling, I think this year was much more about the CM Punk Seth Rollins thing, and how that kind of went. I mean, it kind of deflated, and then the Vision thing became a thing. I know. I think I saw Drew McIntyre join the Vision. He's like the fourth man now or something. Um, so I mean, it's been underwhelming. And I think one of the best things that I've seen this year was the interaction with him and Dominic Mysterio. And this is what I wanted to bring up to you because there was some discussion about this, obviously, and I know where I follow this, but a lot of people were saying, "Oh, like he got buried because
No,
he Dominic Mysterio jobbed to John Cena." But yeah, like I think you agree with me where if anything, that was kind of like a little bit of a humongous lift for Dominic Mysterio. Like he held his own, he was great, and it's probably one of the best spots of the year. That happened between two guys and the way that Triple H like presented it and everything, and and all that. I mean, Dominic Mysterio, like he was ready for the spotlight. Um, and I know that obviously that was to have John Cena do the Grand Slam.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really, really great. I thought it was probably one of the better things. It's too bad that they fucked up the John Cena storyline for this entire year. So I hope they make up for it like towards the end because I think it's been pretty good. I think he had a really good match with this one of the Pauls. I don't even know. I can
Yeah,
never
Logan
tell which
Paul
one.
and AJ Styles. I mean, you're right. The
Yeah,
first half, the heel turn, no one expected. I think part of the reason that failed is they had a plan and The Rock stopped showing up to wrestling. So it
that's
really
fucked up.
it kind of pivoted away to what, he just couldn't carry it. And no one believed it. That's the other thing. Like The Rock was the only thing that was going to make it believable. But I'm like, everyone who has
It
watched
was
John
just,
Cena
yeah.
knows how much he loves wrestling. He's the biggest Make a Wish contributor. He's done the most out of any celebrity, not just wrestler, celebrity ever. So like he's big, and so yeah, the heel turn was shocking, but it's like no one fully believed it. I'm like, to me, I'm like, they
No.
had everything, and I think at SummerSlam when he turned face and had I think yeah, they did what they're supposed to do. It's a tribute to him. He had a match with AJ Styles where both of them were doing like finishers of so it's like people can't
Yes.
face, but going to now the Dominic thing because Cena has history with Rey Mysterio. You're right, Dominic stepped up, and I think Dominic's held this belt a little longer than he was supposed to because of this spot. I think
Mm,
because it
interesting.
wasn't like they just made the match. He came out in Boston in the opening segment where everyone just wants to see Cena. That I barely watch it, live anymore. I just like you. I'm like, let me see the highlights. I'm like, I actually turned it on. I'm
Hmm.
like, I got to see this. This is going to be the biggest reaction, biggest pop,
Hmm.
and God knows how long. Because again, he's not. This is it. So no, it
Yeah.
was a perfect opponent, and yeah, I Cena can handpick who he wants to face. However, they get there, like even this tournament they're doing, you know,
Yeah.
he probably is like, listen, even if it's like a young star, he's like, I want to make him a star. Let's just do this. Whether he wins or lose, that might be a discussion we'll have in a moment. So
Right.
yeah, he picked Dominic, and Dominic's ready. I mean, he will be a world champion.
Yep.
He's so likable and unlikable, and
Oh, he's a
the
heel.
he
Like
is, but he is
he
an
has
Eddie
great heat.
Guerrero here heel
He's a
now.
fucking he is like such a natural heel. Like, and I was talking about this with Sarah. It's like that heels to me are like the backbone of wrestling. Like the best like wrestlers that I knew like were always heels. I mean, fuck, Stone Cold Steve Austin was basically a heel that people just were like, I refuse to like believe you to be a heel. And Dominic kind of has that too because when he won at WrestleMania, he got a huge pop
Oh God, yeah, because the
when he won
WrestleMania
the belt.
crowd
Huge
loves
pop.
their heels. They love the respect. Like they don't care. They know the effort that's put in. They'll call the BS. Excuse me.
Right.
But no, Dominic has been amazing. Even with everything when he was with Rhea Ripley, that was when that was going on. That was some of the most entertaining stuff. They elevated each other. Because this is when right before Rhea became the biggest woman star wrestler,
Right.
and it helped Dominic. Like so, that character work they did within like it was amazing. It was funny, and yes, he I don't know how much you watch, but when he had the interaction with Rey Mysterio and he's going talk about how he's the best luchador and Rey's like, guys like this and Eddie Guerrero, he's like, keep my father's name out of your mouth. Fucking hilarious. Because again, you weren't watching, but they back in like the mid 2000s, Ray and Eddie had like a custody
Yes.
battle. It's a
Yes.
joke, but it still goes on.
But that's why people are like, "Oh my god, John Cena and Dominic Mysterio have almost been in WWE the same
Same
amount
amount
of
of time.
time." They're like two 20-year veterans going at it in the ring. It's like this like 8-year-old's fucking face like forever being in the custody match. It's
Trying to
fucking
shake a
hilarious.
ladder just to get Eddie. I
Oh
remember that. It
my
was a fun match. Ridiculous gimmick because everyone knew, but no, I mean he didn't get buried. I think a lot of people expected Cena to
god.
win
No,
this the belt at some point, and in a way, it's an honor because even though Dominic lost, it's still he shared the ring with Cena. Not many are going to
it's
say that.
fake.
As far
It's not sports. It's theatrics. I think that if you are one of these people that believes that that was like Dominic Mysterio getting buried, I think that you don't understand like the art form and what I just don't think you understand what you're watching. Like I don't think you get like the plot, like you don't understand how that actually elevates him,
Correct.
then you're not like on the same wavelength. Like that's anybody who has half a brain and understands the art form and loves the art form knows that that was a great moment for Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah. And I remember years ago, and again, this is when you weren't watching, and I was a huge CM Punk fan, and I've said this just because he said he was from Chicago the first time. Anyhow, he had this pipe bomb
Yes.
moment, and he through it, he's like, he even says, like, I don't need, people shouldn't need titles to elevate them. Yes, it's a great representation, of the
Hmm.
hard work you've done. He's like, all I want is this microphone. Because he's like, if people listen to me, you've won.
Hmm.
And, and we've talked about
Yes.
this. Roddy Piper, one of the best of all time. Never a
God,
champion.
yeah.
I think he was
Yep.
intercontinental, but, it should have been different era. You're like, that's the thing. If you can keep fan interest, good or, heel or face, that's all you need. Titles are just, to a point, props. I get it. It's the respect and everything like that. Like, hey, you've earned this. But at the end of the day, fans are going to like they like. And Dominic's fine. What happens next will be huge for him because he will be in the world title picture in the next
Yes.
couple of years.
I agree. I think
He's,
so.
I
Yeah.
mean, technically he's the AAA champion, for luchadors right now. So, he'll be fine. I'm not worried, for him. Nothing's gonna happen. This is, and it's Cena. This is one of the big. Not many superstars can do this year. Think about it. When Stone Cold, he had the neck injury, and he kind of, there's a
Yeah.
time he quit. Like a lot of times, a lot of wrestlers do not get to do the goodbyes. It's just like, all right, hey, I'm injured. I can't come back from this. Sorry, love you
Yep.
all. Thank you. Or like, hey, I'm done. Leave the boots in the ring. Which, like, the fact that we knew it's a year. Granted, they fucked up the first half of it. It's like, yeah, we're
Yes, they
seeing
did.
things, that are going to be great. And just like the next month's Saturday Night Main Event, he's like, all the matches, not just his. He wants every superstar in the main roster or whatever match has to face an NXT. So we're gonna see matchups that never have been seen before, which will make it even. That's what he wants. He's like, I'm building towards. I want to help towards the future. So no, Dominic's gonna be fine. He's just hilarious, and people already kind of are rooting for him. Like you said, that WrestleMania pop. Yeah, he ran back, and they told him to run back in the ring to celebrate again, and the fans just go crazy. So,
Yeah.
but
Can't deny. Like if you're when you're over, man,
you're over.
that's it. Like it doesn't matter. That's why I don't understand Jey Uso. I've said this all year. I've been consistent with it. I don't understand Jey Uso at all. I find Dominic Mysterio way more enticing, way more intriguing than anything that I've ever seen from Jey Uso. Like at all. Like I don't get the Jey Uso thing. I find it to be annoying. I know he's over, but I don't. I don't understand it. I don't get it. That's not my style. It's like when it's good, it's good. You've heard that phrase. You know it. You know it's good. Like you just instinctively know. Like when you're watching instinctively good wrestling. Like you just know because you've seen it all your life.
Yeah,
Um, and I don't. Again, like it's like I see a level of Dominic Mysterio where he's at. CM Punk, Seth Rollins, all those guys, and then it's like, yeah, I don't understand Jey Uso. Um, I even like Drew McIntyre, although I feel like he doesn't really get a lot of push. I don't know if they're trying to do that with the whole Vision thing here, but I like Drew McIntyre's, sort of persona too. But I don't know what his whole story
I
is.
I
So,
don't think he's with the Vision. I just think he's going to help him for the War Game segment. Like they're gonna just
oh,
kind of
War
like
Games,
same thing.
yeah,
I don't think Logan Paul's part of Vision. I just think right now they're just because the problem with no McIntyre is great and he was champ and he was the face of the company during the COVID era. He main evented WrestleMania when there was no one in the
really,
audience. Yes, he beat Brock Lesnar.
wow,
So he won the Rumble.
wow,
He actually won the Rumble in front of a crowd because it was right before COVID hit. And because he eliminated Brock Lesnar in the Rumble and got a huge pop. Like if you watch the 2020 Rumble, you just watch it because they actually put a very good scenario. Brock Lesnar was champ and he's like, I'm going to win the Rumble and take WrestleMania night off. So he entered himself at one. He's like, I can throw all 29 men over. So I kind of spoiled what, halfway through, but that led to the
yeah,
fight. And yeah, he was huge. He was the main star, but unfortunately, a lot of what he did was in front of the audience, and kind of like Kevin Owens. He's a good heel, but he can be a good face as well. He can go
oh
basically
yeah,
both
Kevin
ways.
Owens, yeah,
So I just think right now, just the way it's so, and this is a good thing. This is a good thing. There's so much talent and so many people worthy of taking that top spot away from,
Mhm.
I think CM Punk wasn't supposed, I think the Rollins injury helped him. He does, again, he's a guy that doesn't need it, just storyline, it helps. But like even Cody
Right.
Rhodes, but then you got all these other people like, yeah, it's crowded and it's good. You have so many top stars that can be a believable champion. It's not like,
Yeah.
I hate to say it, during a lot of the Cena run, there was only a few people that could realistically beat him, and you're like, okay, yeah, I can see this. Whereas now it's like, yeah, you can throw in Drew McIntyre, you can throw in. I know you hate Jey Uso, but at least he's been built up enough. LA, so all these people, and I think just right now it's going to help the storyline. Drew knows he's not going to the title. It's like, well, let's make a story out of this then, and this hopefully it works and it's connecting. So yeah, I think kind of like the Kevin Owens thing. I think he's proven his point as a heel, which is very hard to do. So no,
Yeah.
he'll be fine. But yeah, I don't think he's part of the vision. I think just because it's war games, they have to put together something, and I hate it. I'm like, make war games mean something. Like if there's like if Seth Rollins was still around, and then it was Punk versus Rollins, like all right, those two you guys with some, and that's how I think it should have been. I just think his legitimate injury changed things, but yeah, it is interesting,
So
but
is War Games like replaced like Survivor Series or something?
correct. Yeah, so there hasn't been any traditional, what we call traditional
Survivor
survivor.
Series is Thanksgiving fucking tradition.
Yeah, and it hasn't had an
It was,
actual
there
five versus
was an
five
egg.
elimination match. Like remember when even like I know we watched some of the older stuff, and they always try
Yeah.
to throw like there was a time they were doing brand supremacy. But it's like it was just kind of cool seeing, but it just didn't mean much. But I did like the nostalgia. But I think it was like 2019, 2020. They did War Games in NXT, but there was actually legitimate heat. So it warranted to that. Hence why the William Regal always called. But then they made a Survivor Series thing. And it's like, okay, one time because it was Bloodline against the people, like that made sense. The Bloodline was just kicking everyone's asses, kind of being the dominant faction. Um, but now it's like sometimes they just throw five against five and just like let's put them in war games. Like bring back the elimination. Just I love that. I'm like it's
Like
simple,
War Games is such a WCW thing from back in the day. Like that
correct.
is something latched onto.
Well, so
Like War Games was specifically WCW.
so obviously yes, WWE owns everything WCW, and
Yeah.
now mind you, Vince McMahon was still in control. Late 2010s, maybe I don't know when it happened. But anyhow, yeah, he never wanted war games as part of it, but Triple H saw what he could do with it, and that's why he finally lobbied it for NXT because he had a group there called the Undisputed Era who are all in AEW now. Besides the point, and they're feuding with coincidentally enough Pat McAfee. There's a spot you would love because Pat McAfee gets like I don't even know the move off the top of the cage, but so he was allowed to use war games in NXT because he's like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm gonna and because he made a success a couple of years, then it was kind of brought up to the main roster, and yeah, now
Ah.
it's like the Survivor Series spot. So yeah, Vince, anything WCW, Vince always said, nope, that's shit. So he never wanted it, but Triple H is like, but I'm like, this format works, but it also works if you have an honest to God feud. Because, like you said, it was WCW, Four Horsemen. Like, we remember some of that shit. Ric Flair getting his
Of
head
course.
slammed bloody, Kurt Hennig
Yep.
turning on him. Like, there's so many
Yep.
memorable moments. But it's just
Mhm.
like, let's just get these five to face these five and just do War Games. I'm like, no, just go back at least. Yeah, I'm fine with the War Games match. Kind of like Hell in the Cell. It needs to matter. If you're just getting two groups, like, do the elimination. Even if it's brand supremacy, fuck it. At least because I always like the randomness of the teams because you never know who will be in the ring. You just never see
Oh,
that.
dude, it was awesome. Yeah, I loved it. And then it's like you'd be like, you'd have like a 1-on-3 situation or some shit. Because it's elimination. I mean, it was again. I'm biased because I just have been watching the old Survivor Series from the early
Yeah,
'90s, and look, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't. It wasn't perfect. Like it wasn't a perfect product, but I like war games too. I just think that it's like these things should be kind of used sparingly.
correct.
To your point,
And it
because
kind of went for
I
that.
grew up more WCW than WWF, and I enjoyed watching that stuff, but I didn't know it was a whole thing now. They have an elimination chamber thing though. Is that the
That's always
same
February.
or
So yeah, that's always like the February pay per view. So what
different?
Yeah, so that's a little different. Because
Yeah.
we watched the Elimination Chamber, did we not? The one with like the pods and like the big cage. It was before
I
WrestleMania
might.
because it's when we first
Yeah.
started. But because if I remember,
Yeah.
anyhow, so January is the Royal Rumble, which we know, and the winner gets gets to call their shot at WrestleMania, either title. So like they'll pick whatever the Raw champion. So now the SmackDown champion needs someone, and that's where the Elimination Chamber. So usually that's like the winner of that faces the other champion. So that's kind of where
Gotcha.
that's come to. But that's its own pay per view in February, and that can be brutal as well. There's I think Bianca Belair because she has that hair. There was a spot Liv Morgan like you just hear it like she smacked it like it
Oh, I
was a
remember that.
whip. Yeah,
Actually, do.
yeah. That
Yeah,
was the
no, I
one.
do.
Yeah, it's just like damn. But no, I agree with you. Like certain things should be used when the story calls for it.
Yeah.
But I do miss, like I said, and I don't know the last time they've had a traditional Survivor Series match. And me personally, I miss that. I'm like, it doesn't have to be the whole show. Like when we talked about the kid when it first started when we
Yes.
were kids, like every match was that. And that was
Mhm.
fine because that was the gimmick then. And they were like, okay, well, we'll do one or two matches and maybe have just others. I just miss it. I kind of want that to come back, men's or women's. Like, yeah, maybe get one War Games match if it warrants it, but like just throw in some limit. And I think they might because there's Sami Zayn's kind of leading the charge against the MFTs, which I kind of hate that name. And it's like now they're at another 5 versus 5, and like they cannot have three War Games matches. So I think they might do an elimination match the Survivor Series. Nothing's announced, and I'm like, all right,
Hmm.
that makes sense to me. Like these guys are just fighting because they hate this group, but it doesn't need war games. Just fight. Um, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, we won't see it because ESPN.
No, but you know what? I'll read about it and just go on YouTube and see whatever highlights I need to see. It's pretty much what I did
Hmm.
long before Peacock and stuff like that. So, but going back to John Cena, yeah, they got the last time is now tournament. I don't know how much you've been following this, or if you know who's in it, or what's going on, or your thoughts about it. But yeah, the winner basically gets the right to fight him in his final match, and that's just weird to think
Yes.
because
Not for me.
well, it's not that. It's just because anytime I always feel like wrestlers say it's their final match, and a lot of them have come back, but Cena specifically said he's like, this is it. Like, there's
I
no
believe
amount of money that's going to bring me back.
I believe him. I mean, he kind of looks sore, like just walking around. It's good for him to make that decision because a lot of guys, they stay on way too long. I mean, Jesus Christ, how long did Ric Flair fucking wrestle for?
Well, he had his retirement match. I don't know because he lost to Shawn
Like
Michaels at
Shawn Michaels? Yeah.
WrestleMania something, but then he went over to TNA, so he kind of spoiled that a little bit. And it's funny because Shawn
Oh
Michaels
no.
got retired by The Undertaker, WrestleMania 25, 26.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
so after that, and then Michaels kept his word most of his life. And then Saudi Arabia money came because I think it was like 2018. They brought him back out. It was basically the Brothers of Destruction versus DX. And Soto, I will say this: you think on paper having four of the best all times would be a good match, but let me tell you something. This is infamously one of the worst matches ever because obviously
Really?
Michaels was retired. He hasn't wrestled in God knows how many years since then. Undertaker was pretty close to his way out. Kane has kind of stopped wrestling because he became mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee, and Triple H is now a part timer. So they're all. And then Triple H
Oh
gets
God.
injured a fourth or halfway through the match. The one guy who probably has the most recent he gets, and it is the
Right.
most sloppiest. If you like, even Michael, they said it. This was for the money. Like Michaels came back because it
Yeah.
was a shit ton of money, but they kind of looked at each other like, yeah, no, this is it. Michael's like, I can't. He's like, he realized because he could not go like he once was able to. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not saying look up that match, Soto, but if you happen to find it, you will see why. And Shawn Michaels as a bald, pretty much close bald man, never thought I'd see that day. He was pretty much he shaved his whole head. He has the Soto haircut. I never thought
Wow.
I would see in this match. And I'm looking, I'm like, it did not feel right, Soto. Your childhood would look at this match like something's wrong. Something's really, really wrong.
I'll have to take a peek to that. That's for sure.
But
But that sounds really cool. But
oh, it's
yeah, I
yeah.
you got to know when you want to walk when you need to walk away. before it's too late, you still want to be a person. I mean, I know Stone Cold's living his best life, but he's got two knees. I think he got knee replacement surgery. So, um, and he's still like, I hear rumors of him being like, "Oh, one last final match." It's like, no, dude, it's okay. You don't have to come back. We're good. The Kevin Owens match, great match for what it was. The brawler type of no disqualification match. It was great. Stunners were given out. That's it. That to me, that's the best send off you could give. And Kevin Owens like did a fantastic job giving, like deferring to him and just basically making Stone Cold get over. Like Kevin Owens did a great job.
No, he did, and it played into, like you said, Stone Cold's, I hate to say, weaknesses at this point, because he has to do that
Mm-hmm.
kind of match and no DQ because it masks what he can't do anymore. And
Right.
if you hear Kevin Owens, I think he was on the podcast with Cody Rhodes. He said he didn't even know, even that day, if that match was going to happen. Because Stone Cold kind of like,
Wow.
because they knew they were going to eat. Because he's like, it could have just ended up as a segment that Stone Cold comes out, Kevin Owens show, stuns
Yeah.
Kevin Owens, walks away. He's like, I'm fine with that. Not people love getting stunned by Stone Cold. Like there's hilarious stories all around. He's like, he's been pushing for this match. And so he was waiting. So he's like, even like, I think it was a couple hours. They're like, all right, let's just, we can do this. Stone Cold was ready. So, but, yeah, no, I mean, like I said, though, that's the thing. Stone Cold comes back, gives people stunners. I'm sure, I think I think John Cena says he's not even going to come back for that. So it's not like he's going to be a nostalgic thing, come back, AA a guy, and then leave. Like, if he comes back, it'll be like whenever he gets, the Hall of Fame. I mean, I'm sure he'll make an appearance, but I agree with you. I don't think he's going to get physical again. And I think having this will close the chapter. He wants to do movies and he just needs to fully close this to move on. So, yeah, he'll still make an appearance here and there. Like every now and then, if he happens to be in Boston and they're in Boston, he can come in, say hi, and, whatnot. But yeah, no, he's done. So I just, again, looking at like who's left, it's like, I don't know the road for his final opponent. Like I don't know like what I would want to see, but
Isn't everybody keep saying he's gonna fight Sheamus or something like that?
well, so yeah, so they've had four matches so far. Like there's 16 people, so there's still the first round still has four more to go. Sheamus has a lot of history with him. Hence, people feel that. Plus, Sheamus has never had the Intercontinental Championship because now it's gonna look like his final match will be for the championship. So
Mm-hmm.
then comes the question: will John Cena lose? Will he? Because most people say you go out on your backs. When you're done, your last match.
You
You
always
come
have
on,
to
and I'm sure you'll do that. But like, is this the one
away.
case? Is this the one case to give Cena the final win? But yeah, no, Sheamus has a lot of history. I think that's why a lot of people wanted Edge to come back, but unfortunately, Edge still under contract with AEW.
Yeah.
And so but yeah, if you look at even the rest, it's like none of them. Sheamus has the most history out of everyone left. Most everyone has maybe a little history, but are also younger talent. There is one surprise entrant, which we'll find out on Raw. The guy who's facing Solo, we don't know who, which is probably going to be Joe Hendry. So that's
Hilarious.
well because it's just like Matt Cardona. Hendry has a story. He was supposed to meet Cena. Like this is before he got into wrestling. Like he was just starting to get into it, and he was supposed to have a meet and greet. But I think he got sick or something happened, and his buddy still went. And his buddy was telling John Cena, "Is like, yeah, my friend who's a big wrestler, big fan of yours, couldn't make it. Blah blah." And he's talking, and Cena's like, "Well, hey, let's call him up." And Cena spent like 10, 15 minutes talking to Hendry over the phone just about wrestling. And Hendry's like, he didn't have to do that. He's like, and that's always meant something to me. And Hendry said he always wanted one match. So even though he's not going to probably get the match, just to be in the tournament will add a little hilarity to it. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about who. Like, but yeah, I think a lot of people say Sheamus. A lot of people say LA Knight just to give him that because he hasn't been champion. A lot of people say Gunther because Gunther retired Goldberg, so Gunther could just be retiring the old vets, make that part of his gimmick. And then I don't,
Oh, Gunther. Did
yeah,
Gunther just lose fucking CM Punk in the whole Seth Rollins turn? Wasn't
e,
that the night that happened that Gunther
yes,
World?
SummerSlam. Yeah, I think that was
Yeah.
yeah. Punk won the title, then Seth Rollins, the ruse of the century. Then I think Gunther went away for a while. So, but that helps. It's not overexposure. I think That's why I like this product. You know, Vince McMahon, it's just like the same people are on all the times. Sometimes you got to go away, and then you come back and the fans love you. So I don't know.
Absolutely.
You know what? I'll just go along with the ride, and that's all we can do. But it's just weird to think, yeah, 20 years. You know, not many wrestlers can say they've been on top for that long. He's basically been on top of WWE as much as the Patriots dynasty. If you really think about it, it all started at the same time, lasted almost as long. It's just the way it goes. But
Which one,
that
Chad? The old one or the new one that we're beginning?
you're not there yet. You're not there yet. You have to listen. First of all, to me, a dynasty doesn't start until 3 Super Bowls. You have to win that in
Of
the.
course. Of
So
course.
I know people hate the Chiefs. I'm
I
like,
know.
technically, the Chiefs are a dynasty. I'm not saying they're better than the Pats.
Sure. No,
But
hey, look, I got 6 Super Bowl rings in a very short amount of time, so
well, yeah,
people can
20
have
years. The first three
people
was in
can.
like 4 years, and then it took. But
They had 2 dynasties in a 20-year period.
yeah, Tom Brady basically
Where
had
they had
2 Hall of Fame careers.
I
Basically,
saw 9 Super Bowls. Like in that 20 years, my team was in the Super Bowl 9 times. Like that is an insane fucking run. And I was just texting my friend who was in his late 20s, and I was like, how does it feel like that you've never known what a regular football franchise is? I was
I
like, you had 5 years between Brady and now you have Drake May. Like, the fuck is this? Like that you're not even 30 yet. What the fuck?
so there was. I read the stat, and I'm probably gonna fuck it up, but you're gonna get the sentiment to it. And there's more about Tom Brady, and I
Oh
think they
no.
said so. Tom Brady's it was because you said it. He made what 10 Super Bowls because we include the one in Tampa.
Correct? Right.
So
And
I'm
Super
gonna. So think
Bowls.
about this. There during Brady's career, there was a better chance of Tom Brady being in the Super Bowl than Steph Curry hitting a 3 pointer.
That
Think
is
about that for a second.
insane.
Think about
And
that
that's
for a second.
actually fucking so that's fucking dude. Like it literally, it felt like every year the Patriots were in the AFC Championship game.
Correct.
Like every
Correct.
year, I was like, and we're back again, and we're back again, and we're like, this man was 7-3 in Super Bowls.
Yep.
Like that fucking insane. There was Super Bowl like that. Well, not the one, but the one he lost against the Eagles. He threw for 500 yards in that Super Bowl. Like absolutely fucking insane.
And if you think it's been
Um,
18, 19, 18 years maybe because he did. I think they took off like the injury year he had. So I mean, again,
yes.
the stat could be wrong, but I kind of saw that somewhere. I did not fact check it, but like you, I believe that. And Steph Curry can hit a three. um, but yeah,
Steph Curry doesn't have a 50% fucking free like 3 point average, I don't think. I'd have to look that up, but I
if
mean
anyone
Steph
though,
Curry
he's
is
no correct. But if anyone, he's the closest. But that still, that was hilarious to me. You had a bet more of a chance of seeing Tom Brady in the Super Bowl than Steph Curry hitting a three
it
pointer.
was it was a run. Like somebody was like, "Oh, like, do you think that Gronk should have a statue?" I'm like, the
No,
only person who should have a statue is Brady. That is it. Like there's no other person that should have a statue on there. And I thought it was hilarious because I thought it because they went against the Jets, and I'm like, he had said it was there for the Jets fans to be able to throw their drinks on their way
yep,
out of
yep.
Gillette after they lose. So I wonder how many of them did. But like his body of work, especially after his 40s,
Yeah,
because he was interviewing like Stafford, and like I think Stafford's like 37 or something like that, and like he made a joke to Stafford being like, "Oh, don't worry, you still have like 5 more years to go." He's like, "You're young, you're 37 years old." Like, because Brady, he just did longevity. Like we will never ever see a quarterback have that longevity and have that success. We just won't have it. Like nobody will do that. Like
no,
even if everything goes right, like I always said, Drake may end up being a better, talented, more like just awesome quarterback than Tom Brady. Still doesn't mean he's going to win championships.
no, because you have one bad
Like it
game.
doesn't.
You have
That's
to have
not a
a team
guarantee.
around you too. I mean, you have to
Right?
have something
It's
around you.
not a guarantee. Like it's not a guarantee that like Tom Brady. It wasn't so much the physical stuff. It was just his ability to make plays and just work his ass off and outthink everybody else. And then he also had Belichick, right? So although he proved he didn't need Belichick because he won a Super Bowl without him with the Buccaneers, So that conversation is still kind of up in the air. But you could have a quarterback. Drake may definitely be better and break all sorts of records. Um, doesn't mean that'll equal a championship.
No. And I do think a lot of records will be broken in time. And that's just because now you got to think Brady played mostly in 16 game seasons and now in 17. And soon they'll
Oh
probably be
yeah.
18. And, because people are like, well, this shouldn't count because they didn't play 16 games. And I'm like, well, think about the stats people were breaking for Dan Marino, back then, or like 14, 12 to game. Like, it's going to happen. These stats that
Yep.
Peyton, Brady all put up are going to be broken mainly because, yes, there's going to be more games in the season and it'll count. But like you said, the one that counts the most, the ones that we want as fans, give us those championships because we don't care.
Yep.
No one cares that Jim McMahon wasn't the best, going from Bears fan, he just managed the game. He just had the biggest personality on the team, but he wasn't like the greatest QB. It wasn't even the top 50%
Oh,
that year.
I mean, like
But
everyone remembers like the fridge that game. That's the most iconic part of that Super Bowl.
and they did that
Uh,
all season. That with the fridge, that was like a go-to. 1 yard line. Screw the fullback. Yeah, fridge plowed through.
mhm.
And they always did that. And I mentioned this. I think that was Dick's biggest regret because he went to a play they've always done on the 1 yard line, and he didn't think, hey, let's get Walter Payton a touchdown because he just did what they did all season long. So it was just like instinct. But he even said, he's like afterwards, he's like, if I would have thought more in hindsight, I said I would have given Payton that TD just for what because
Yeah.
what he's meant to that team. But he's like, because people shit on him, they're like, or Dick, I'm like, how could you not give it to Payton? I'm like, they've done that all year. Like that was their go. It's like not the same, but like the tush push. If the Eagles are within 1 yard, you know what's coming, and they're going to do it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
that it's
Of
instinctive
course.
at that point. And yeah, to them, if they're a one, maybe two, yeah, the fridge was going to get it because no one was tackling. He wasn't going to go far, but he'll get you those 2 yards.
Right. Exactly. But that's what it would not have been as iconic with Peyton scoring it, because we could still talk about it 40 years later, being like, oh yeah, the fridge. He did that. Then he was also in a really shitty battle royale for the WWE.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was the highlight for me, though, for that battle royale. I mean, but battle royales in itself are kind of
Oh, I hate
it's
them, dude.
it's tough
I
because
can't
you're
stand
waiting
them.
till the story part happens. You gotta wait till half. It's hard to make it interesting because again, there's just so many people, even fans in attendance. You're just looking around. You're just waiting for like, all right, the end. Like, all right, we got four left now. Let's see what happens. This is where it means something. So, but yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I know we'll talk more football this week, but it's why I like it. I just like you never know. I mean, you look at the standings
Never know.
across the league, both AFC and
Never.
NFC. Who, I mean, Soto, Kansas City, Buffalo, and Baltimore are probably going to be wild card teams this year, which
Yeah.
is scary and funny at the same time. If you're an AFC fan, by the way, if you really
Aren't
think
the
about it,
Broncos? The Broncos are going against the Chiefs, I think, this week,
Broncos
right?
have the division lead though. So yeah, I
Yeah, but it
mean,
should be a good look as far as what that's going to look like, you know?
no, correct. I mean, again, everything could change. I mean, but I'm kind of looking this up now, just real quick. Um, Yeah, because Steelers lead the Ravens by a game, so Ravens probably will take that division. So Colts,
There's a
Colts,
chance. Yeah.
and then Broncos have a 3 game lead over the Chiefs. They're 8-2. Chiefs are 5. Again, Chiefs can make a run. We've seen Mahomes, so who knows? I mean, well, I'm just going week by week. It's like it's just what the season is, just what's happening this week. But the fact that yeah, right now, if you look at if it were to happen now, yeah, Bills would be a actually, Chiefs won't even make the playoffs, but they probably will. Some team's gonna falter. They'll be there. But we'll see.
We
Oh,
shall see. Yeah, so, one of the things that grinds my gears really quick, that makes wrestling very much an unwatchable product, especially on Raw and SmackDown. Like the commercials in the middle of the matches are absolutely fucking annoying and completely take me out of the flow of the entire situation. Like loses me every single time. Like the commercialization of what I would imagine to be TKO and everything that's gone into WWE. Like I don't really care about like sponsors in the ring, insert like that or whatever advertisements. Like as a sports fan, I'm used to advertisements, just the way it is.
yeah.
But don't break it the fucking match and put a commercial in there. It's like now I know it's fake. Like, cause like, well, I know it's not gonna end. I know it's not real, but like, let me at least believe that it is. Like, like the suspension of what disbelief or whatever, like what we have with movies. Like, allow me to believe that this could be real for a second. But when you enter it with commercials, I'm like, I get bored. I tune out. I go on my phone. It just really sucks. That's all.
No, I agree. And yeah, the sponsorship was weird at first because I guess because it's been so many years where they haven't had like that kind of product placement a little bit, but not like in the ring, like box. But like you said, we watch the NFL, and people who follow UFC boxing, like that was bound to happen. And I do laugh that the tables have the Slim Jim logo on it, just snap into it.
Yeah,
I don't know why I
the
laugh at that.
money.
I'm like, yeah, good Slim Jim, yeah. I hate the
Yeah, the
Prime
mutual
thing, but I get it
benefits.
because that helps, because it helps Logan Paul, but that's a big drink, whatnot. So, but still,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, commercials. You kind of knew nothing was happening, but the fact that I guess now, like I don't know if ESPN's doing it, but like the side by side, like the match is here, but the two
Yeah.
screens, I'm like, just give me the full
Mhm.
commercial. Just this is my bathroom break, but when they show both, I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you. It's weird, but it's always
I
happened,
can't.
just not like that.
It's so annoying. But
Yeah.
that doesn't happen in the PLEs. I think that's the only thing that
Well, correct.
separates, like is that the PLEs are. It's just such a bummer that they're on ESPN because I refuse. I refuse to fucking buy
$30 a
another fucking
month.
thing. Just no, I'm not doing it. It's not worth it. And that's you're basically asking me to pay the pay per view every month like I used to back in the day, or like my mom used to. Let's be quite honest.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not doing it. I could afford it. We always talk about the Taco Bell rule. We talk about it many, many times, where it's like, yeah, okay, I'll spend $20 at Taco Bell, but I won't spend $30 on a game. But I don't want to do $30 a month. Like that shit adds up, and it's not that serious. Like I don't, I could just like TikTok will have the highlights that I need to watch, and I'll
Yep.
just watch the
Or
TikToks.
go to
And like,
YouTube
there's a
and
bunch of creators that react to it and that I follow, so I'll just follow their reactions to like what they're watching on WWE. I'm not paying. I'm not spending $30 a month. I'm not doing it. It's unnecessary. Like, fuck.
no, I agree. And if ESP, I kind of looked what else was on. Yeah, I'm like, all right, there's something worthwhile for me to get this. Like if they had all
Hmm.
the NFL games, then I'm like, okay, well maybe this is something I could do. Like I can watch all the games. I'm like, but there is nothing. There's nothing to ESPN that I would want to make me pay that much. Like WWE's that you're right. It's not gonna be $30. I'll see what I always go to the
Um,
Bleacher Report. Like, okay, what are the results? I'm like, oh, we got Rhea, Io, Alex, and Charlotte in the same ring. Let me see this segment. Then I'll go to YouTube, find it, and like, I just want to see this segment. I barely watch matches. It's
mhm.
just, but I agree with you. I don't like that it happened. PS, here's the question: if ESPN was only like $8 to $10, though, you would probably do it, right? I mean, if you really think
It
about it.
would. I mean, yeah, I would consider it. I would consider it at that price. $30 is just a bridge too far.
Yeah,
Okay, my groceries are expensive. All right, so
everything's
no.
expensive. So
I know. That's why I'm like, I'm opting out. I'm gonna do what I can because we were like, oh, just pirate it. I'm like, pirating is too hard. Like, it's too. I'm not gonna pirate the NFL. Like, I'm not gonna pirate. It's just too much of a pain in the ass. I don't have the time to do it, and I just don't. So, yeah, and YouTube TV, which is what I watch most of my stuff on, they just got into a fight with Disney, and then they gave me a $20 credit back on my bill, and now they fixed their contract with Disney. It's like, dude, like why? Like on YouTube TV, I couldn't watch Channel 5 because YouTube TV was mad at Disney. Like, so I couldn't watch ABC. I'm like, what the fuck? All this shit, all this streaming shit, just so that we could go back to cable. It's harder to like consistently keep track of the things that you want to watch and not to get into the physical media thing because we've covered that. And I'm more apt to think about doing physical media now more than ever because now I know where it will be. If I want a movie, if I like a movie, I'm gonna buy it because I don't know. I don't want to fucking dig through 18 different streaming services just to find it again.
or not find it on any
Especially like
streaming services or
right,
pay
especially
three
it's like
ninety
you never
nine.
know. Right, you never know when you're going to be in the mood to watch a movie. Right, you just never know. Like sometimes you'll be like, oh, I feel like watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm gonna put this on. Um, it's nice to have it on hand. I get it, space issues, things like that, but this streaming shit across all these different fucking things, I just am not about. I know I'm sounding old man screaming at clouds, but that fucking diversification of our entertainment, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Should have just never left the WWE network. That was a perfect product.
Yeah, and that was $10 a month. They promoted the
I
shit
would
out
have
of
paid
that.
for it.
Yeah.
Just let me have everything always. Let me go back. Let me have the option to go back and watch any match I ever wanted to watch, any archive thing. Let me watch the new stuff for free. I'll pay you $10 a month. That's a great deal.
It was. It was. I mean, I never did it because I was like, at that time, I'm like, I don't think I have the time for all this. But yeah, when I saw that was on Peacock and told you about it, like, yeah, we watched some old school shit. And I'm like, this is great. This is great.
I thought about doing it today. I came close. So I might get back on that.
Oh, well, Soto, this is getting close to the end. Is there any other topics or anything else you want to discuss or last points before we end this episode?
No, not really. Not really. I'm just I'm kind of like I can't get off of Baldur's Gate 3. I don't think I'll ever play another video game again. So I'm going through that dilemma, but at the same time I'm just having fun. So the whole point of playing video games is to have fun, right? We've
Yeah.
talked about this as well. So if I'm replaying Baldur's Gate again from scratch and I'm doing it all over again, um I should just lean into it and have fun. Just do the things that are fun.
Yeah. I mean, I do agree. Sometimes it's hard to find a new game or get into a major game and kind of find one. But I will say
Yes.
this, Soto, and don't be afraid. Every now and then, especially if you're doing something funny in Baldur's Gate, feel free to throw it on Twitch. I mean, again, no one might be watching, but hell, we
Yes.
still somehow get little payouts now and then. So
Yeah. I
also,
will. I'll definitely. Yeah, because I have a funny storyline going with one of the characters I created. Because I tend to make. I know you don't play these open concept RPGs as much as I do, but sometimes the stories that I make up in my head are like way funnier than the stories that are actually like in the game. And you can do that with open RPGs. Like you could just be like, okay, like I'm gonna call this guy Magic Missile Mike, and this is his backstory, and this is what he's gonna do, and he's gonna be my little buddy, like he's a little gnome, and he does great things. And my main character, she has an urge to kill that she doesn't understand why it's there. So you add that with Magic Missile Mike, and it just ends up being shenanigans. So yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I will.
I'm just saying, don't be afraid. I know I did a little Dead by Daylight because I got
Yeah,
the temporary mode. I'm like, you know what? I'll throw it on. If someone joins, they join. If not, you don't know because every sub
absolutely.
counts.
I beaten it already, so nobody can spoil it. So
Yeah, I mean, I
um,
get that's the hard part with certain games, but oh,
yeah, I think that's what I'll do is like maybe stream games that I've already beaten, or games I don't really care about spoiling, like and just put them on there and whatever. Because like if people want to spoil Baldur's Gate for me, I've already beaten it. I already know what's happening, so I'm just doing different outcomes, and I'm RPing like how I want to like role play, because it's Dungeons and Dragons, and Dungeons and Dragons is just you make up your own story and you do your own thing, and there's a 20-sided die, and sometimes the dice rolls in your favor and sometimes it doesn't.
now I will say this, Soto. Again, I know we don't because we haven't really pushed Twitch and God knows how long, or been on it a lot. I know there's a time we were trying to get on like once or twice a week just to get there. But I will say this: if there comes a time where there's a problem with people trying to spoil things for us, I'm like, that means there's a lot of people watching. I might be okay with that. But I do agree with you. I
All
understand.
right, fair.
I
That's
mean,
a fair observation.
but yes, I'm with you because certain games it's like I don't want spoiled. Like I know in February when Resident Evil 9 comes out, I'm probably gonna day one that. Yes, if I streamed it,
Oh, yeah,
people are probably gonna because that's gonna be the hot topic for the moment. But like
yeah.
I'm gonna be so hyper focused on it. I'm like I don't know if I want to. So I get it. But you're right. I'm just saying there might because you don't do like I know I do more of the online gaming like Rocket League. I just that's my mindless and every now and then though I don't want to put them on the stream. I do play Fortnite. I'm Dead by Daylight like with my wife only when they have the fun modes, which I got to get you back in just for a day, just because I think it'd be fucking hilarious.
Dead by
Um,
Daylight.
yes. I know.
Yeah,
I'm just.
we could set up a Friday night to do that if you want.
We'll see. It'll be a few Fridays, anyways. Um, but anyhow, yeah. My point going back to like, you know what? If you get on Twitch or you got nothing going on, throw on the headset. You got a new headset. See what
I
happens.
do.
You know, you never know.
Okay.
Maybe you'll make a friend. Maybe you'll get us a sub, and we'll get to that next payout a little quicker. I
Another
mean,
$25 gift card. Let's
I
go,
know. So
baby.
I was looking at. It was just funny because I was looking at. Usually you catch up on my bank statement, and I saw that. I'm like, where's this from? Because I was like, wait, because obviously, paychecks are pretty much all that goes in there. And I'm like,
Yeah, of
I'm like,
course.
wait, what? I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, we got a Twitch payment. Yay. Like, here you go, Soto. Here's your half. You're like, yippee. But let me ask, what did you spend on it? Or did you buy anything? Or is it still, what'd you get? I mean, you might have told me and I forgot.
I didn't get anything. I didn't get anything. Chad, there's so many free fucking things
I
like
know.
that I don't have time to play. Like, why would I buy something like right now? Like, if I'm basically saving it for when you're like, hey, buy this game, and I'll be like, okay, cool, and I'll buy this game. But I have so many fucking games. You played Forspoken for like what, 80 hours?
Yeah, I
Like
think
that's still on my docket. Like I don't know where I'm gonna find 80 hours. But maybe actually when I end this whole 200 movie challenge thing, I'll open up a little
that
bit.
will free up so much. Yes.
At least 4 hours a week. 4 to 5 hours a week will be free, not including podcasts, which is
Yeah,
another.
no, I mean, for me, I'm like with everything because I was editing all that shit that we just talked about today, and I had it
Yeah.
all cut. So now, probably later tonight, I got to get all like the little dialogue and just edit, So, but it's all pretty much scheduled for next week. And I'm done that part. No, I mean, again, maybe outside of buying things like a DLC for a game, but I understand, yeah, because I'm playing I think it's called Iodine Chronicles, which kind of has like 100 characters, but it's not really that deep. It's not like you can only choose. You can kind of choose who's in your party, but it's not like your kind of RPGs. You can make them good or bad. They pretty much have their set stories, but like, yeah, it was free.
Mhm.
It's a love letter to old school RPGs, and technically I read it like it only takes 40, 50 hours to beat. I'm like, this is fine. I'm okay with this amount. Forspoken took me a while because it was an easy plat. When I was
Yeah.
done, I kind of looked what was left. I'm like, I can do this. It's just going to take a little time for a couple things.
Hmm.
I mean, that time's just like I have to go out and set myself just to do this and nothing else. But I'm like, yeah, and I think that's why. But yeah, you can beat Forspoken so much quicker. You just won't be exploring as much. But if you get to it, you get to it.
Want to play it? I mean, I said I would pay $20 for it, and I did. So
You did in our demo review, and here it is free for us, at least while it's on PlayStation Plus. So,
yeah,
oh,
I should definitely stream that when I first play it because it'd be like full circle.
the question you have to ask yourself at the end would be, is it now worth $20? Like like
Is it
at the end,
now?
you're like, what? You were like, I would have paid 20 for this, or you'd be like, nope, this would have just been $5 game, or whatever you want to do. Oh, all right, Soto. I think that's going to do it for us today. Um, yeah, we should be back next week. I think. I don't think there's any plans unless something
What's
came up.
next week? No, I don't got anything going on next week. I don't think I'm looking at my calendar now.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, it's good. I mean, things are kind of quiet between now and at least December. So, like I might do something on my birthday weekend, the weekend before my birthday. Thinking about going to Boston, maybe doing Kings or some shit like that, which is a bowling place. I don't know. We'll see.
we shall see. But yeah,
Hmm.
that will do it for us. We have thoughts. Thank you for listening. If you made it to the end, I'm friggin' impressed.
Yeah,
Uh,
good.
you're
Wow,
you're the only one. You're welcome.
you
Thank
are.
you. Whatever.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
we'll be back next week. Until then, just have a good weekend.